Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Kitsy. So I was coming on here with an intention in regards to Jupiter retrograde. I had all this enthusiasm, all this information to share, and in the moment that my mind thought about Jupiter, wait, retrograde, when I confirmed that it actually was in fact in retrograde, it's as if that's when the bubble kind of burst, but it wasn't in a bad way. It burst in the sense of like all that enthusiasm and all that excitement, like you almost don't even care to to share that because it's like it's almost like saying like what would be the point in a sense because it takes you off the moment. It's like you when you cherish the moment or something like that. But then there was this very optimistic perspective, very very like clear understanding of like everything is here and now in this moment. So it's like even to go so far out to even express it almost feels futile or something like that. So when that little like sensation of the moment being, having passed, you get this sensation of like, depending on your demeanor, you can become kind of like, you know, feel kind of like low in a way, like, oh, that's kind of messed up. I lost it, or like I lost the inspiration, or I lost what feels like the climactic moment of I can't explain it, like of the gratitude, happiness, joy. And then it's like, where'd it go? Where is it? And it's like your mind can't even conceive it in the moment because it's like as it just like once it understands itself or like once it notices that I can't even explain it. It was almost like the moment I looked into it that I realized that's what it is. It's like a child playing peekaboo. Like once they know it's just a game or it's just a trick, or whatever kind of illusion, the child kind of like it's not so like awe-inspiring anymore, or the need to get so excited isn't there anymore. So that's kind of like what I was starting off with, but a little honestly, and I guess that's what the retrograde um is. It's that feeling after you kind of like you see a situation like you're seeing it for what it is, but it's not even a disappointment. I can't even describe it. It's like imagine having this like really juicy gossip and you just and but you have to like you're a kid or something and you have to run from your home um down a few blocks to your best friend's house to tell her something. Um by the time you get there, you don't even remember half half of the stuff that you were gonna say. Did I freeze? Okay, it looked like it froze. And it's only like 4 minutes in. It feels like I've been talking for something. Anyways, but yeah, so it kind of feels a little bit weird like that. Like the momentum maybe, but it doesn't like set you back. It's just a realization in the moment, like, oh, okay, there that is. There it is, that thing that has the potential to like, get me. uh, deflated in a certain way or feeling like, like a loss of enthusiasm. But it doesn't feel that way this time. It's almost like just disappointing that I I felt like I was going in one direction when I was getting onto to my video, and then it's like it just took me to another direction. So, well, it might come to me at some point during this video. The song Mirrors earlier today came through from Justin Timberlake. So I feel like there's someone mirroring your experience. And I'll give you a few examples of something that happened to me today. I was with my daughter and we went to go have lunch. The moment we went in, we were greeted by like the whole staff. It was like they were having a meeting. So when we walked in, they were like very, vibrant and very joyful, and they kind of took us by surprise and were like, oh wow, that was nice, like, it was very sweet of them. Anyway, the lady starts talking to me and getting familiar in a certain way, like, oh, where are you from? Because I'm from here, and da da da. And we just got into this conversation where then a lady sitting at a different table overheard this, and she comes over and she's telling me, oh, I heard you're from such and such. So what brings you by this town? And but super friendly, and it's like I've never seen, someone from your background in this area. And but she okay, so she's from Panama. I'm from Dominican Republic. The lady that was serving us is from um Nicaragua. So so the Nicaraguan lady was talking about me. I was telling her that I'm Dominican. And then the lady at the table overhears and she's like, she's from Panama. So she just like strikes up this whole conversation with me. And and then the synchronicities were that the lady, it's like the same part of town that I grew up in, she lived there. Um, what was the other thing? Her moon sign. No, her sun sign is the same as my moon sign, Capricorn. The moon is in Capricorn. So what are the chances that the day that I go out to have lunch, that I don't always do, like my, see, confirmation. My days are usually routine like, right, in a certain way. So when I do have moments that I do stuff kind of like sporadic like that, um, all these synchronicities occur. And I mean, there was so many other synchronicities that I couldn't even begin to tell you just from that one encounter, just from that one experience. So my daughter and I were just laughing because it was like this is very so that's an example of mirroring, right? Um, but it could also feel, here's the other thing. It also feels like it's connected to your counterpart because the synchronicities that the person had with you also had with your counterparts. So give me a moment. I have to pause for a second. Okay, sorry about that. My son was taking a nap and he woke up. So here's what's interesting also. I don't know where I left off, but he decided to make me a tea and he's like, guess what tea it is? So I'm trying to guess. I'm calling out all these different teas and it ends up being sleepy time tea. So I drank the whole darn thing thinking it was just regular tea. I mean, I knew it was sleepy time. I'm like, what can one little tea, what can one little tea do? I don't get sleepy that easy. And I think it's working, but I don't know. And then he took a few sips and he just lay down and just knocked out. So and that was what was interesting. The reason why I even mentioned that the song that came out, it just came out on the playlist. Mr. Sandman, Bring Me a Dream, make her the cutest that I've ever seen. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Mr. Sandman, bring me a... Okay, alright. Bum, 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 bum. It reminds me of Back to the Future. So, it was also about the sleepy time because it was like something about sleepy time. So very like Neptunian vibes, right? It feels very like weird that way because I had all this like energy. I think that's the best word. I mean, I was out and about and I was just like, right? It just felt very, I guess you could say maybe high vibing if you want to call it that way. And then all of a sudden, I have that moment where I realized it just like, it got to a point of like, almost like floating. Like you could float into like this joy de vivir kind of vibe, like the joy of living to the point that you kind of like, you know, and that's like epiphany moment. And then you kind of like come back down. And I wonder if that's what some people would consider like the transitioning in consciousness in some ways. But anyway, so yeah, the Mr. Sandman, Bring Me a Dream. And I think I also have the lyrics too. Okay, so here's another thing that made me think of Saturn, Capricorn energies, the moon being in Capricorn. The song from Rihanna, was it her? Yeah, it was her. Pour It Up. That showed up. And it was just like the scene and the lyrics were very, at the club and making money. It's all about the money and all this. And I'm just like, I felt like I was like, first there's this whole like relationship, you're my mirror kind of vibe. And then there's this sleepy time kind of vibe. And then there's this pour it up, So it's like the mirrors was just, it was giving like, kind of like excitement for what's to come or for the new or something like that. That's what it was giving more than anything. The number 707 came through after that moment that I had, that Jupiterian kind of moment. That was the weirdest thing. Because it was almost like, like those moments where it's like, like when you're like, oh, it's on the tip of my tongue and you just want to say something. And then it's like, it's like you can't even, you forget. So it can be very frustrating. And so you'll end up like arguing or fighting with your like own mind. Like okay, let me not say you. I've spent countless hours just like inside my own head trying to remember that one thing. Oh my God, that one thing that I wanted to say or that one thing that I was, and I hate when that happens. But I've learned to let it go. As they would say, let it go. And it does kind of feel better when you let it go. It feels better when you do. Only because it doesn't take up or occupy a lot of your free mind. I mean, there was a time where that was one of the issues in my own like awareness. If I got distracted with one thought that was really pressing on me to figure out, like I didn't even want to be talked to. It's like, don't even talk to me. See, it's true. Yeah. Yes. Oh no. Hold on. I thought it was connected. Hold on. Okay. I had to plug in my computer because it was the battery was running low. Like my energy. It was. And now I like as soon as I charged and I saw the bright light, it was like, oh yay. So I was trying to see if I had any other notes here. Okay. No, I don't actually have any other. Hmm. Upgrading or redecorating. You could be doing that at this time, or that could be significant. Oh, the your animal totem. I pulled out from my animal totem cards and I got my animal totem, which is a horse. That's my Chinese astrology um animal. But I'll read it to you. I am willing to find my I am willing to find new pathways to discover my inner power. I am determined to align with the forces of nature that feed my soul. It is easy for me to find freedom and travel, either physically or within my consciousness. Nature brings me balance. I enjoy and absorb the positive green vibrations of this wonderful planet. So I feel like that's what happened. I tuned into that energy and then I tuned out. I was just like, oh, and then I also had the audacity to touch this crystal. And somehow I think it kind of like got me so like really, 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 really like floating, floating energy, elevating, ascending energy. That's what it feels like. So I'm just gonna use my cards and do it. As a matter of fact, no, I'm not gonna use my cards right now. I think I want to use these. I don't think I've used them in a while. Very interesting. Ten of Earth. So abundance. Like it feels a lot like very satisfied emotionally, satisfied with um your surroundings, your materials, um, maybe even just in your health, just feeling like very abundant, very blessed, very graced, very grateful, um, very happy, very content with Jupiter here. the sun. Um, and this is what I was talking about, that energy. And I had no intention of even coming to talk about Jupiter, but it was it was like I said, I was in that energy of feeling the Jupiter, and then all of a sudden, it when it was dissipating, or maybe when it was, I don't know if it was just in my personal self feeling consciously the retrograding of Jupiter. It had me kind of like, that extraness was like, all right, enough. That's all, folks. So we have the four of earth. There's a stable energy. There's a stability, or you're grounded. Even I feel like maybe that was kind of a test, like to see like uh overdoing oneself, going above and beyond in some way. In a way to like be trapped emotionally, like to maybe overdo something and then get caught up in some kind of regret. So like that, it could be like maybe like to avoid the responsibility and just like be like, I'm gonna live in the moment, I'm gonna be free, and I'm just gonna go do whatever I want, and then just get lost in that craziness of, you know, forget about the bank account, I'll take care of it later, or forget about, work, I'll call them tomorrow and I'll explain it, and or I'll deal with it, I'll do this now and deal with it later. That's the kind of energy that I think uh we were being, I'm just letting it do what it does. See, that was a confirmation. I think that that was the lure. That was the thing that was kind of like, come on, come on, baby, have some fun. Come on, a little bit more. Like it could be anything, like get one more cake, buy that one more thing, or call that, one more person to, give them that positive lovin's or something, only to feel tied up and isolated and like kind of like dampened in some way. Okay, the seven of water, like feeling like you need to like escape um some kind of like emotional, it's like an emotional connection that is, I don't want to call it toxic so much as not on the right basis, perhaps, like feeling trapped by a connection in some way. I don't even know why I came out like that. Neptune, the moon, Mars, and Pluto. It's like not being able to fully connect emotionally, okay? Not being able to see clearly what options are available. Maybe even like to your detriment, not being able to see clearly like where you're going. So I feel like that would have been the energy, but instead you had a higher vision. You were cooperating, you were creating, you were working, collaborating with others in a harmonious way, in a way that allowed you, in a way that allowed you to be nurtured or be supported, or have the the things that are necessary for you to be nourished in your day to day. So this is eleva. Eleva? eleva, eleva. I'm not sure how you say it, to be quite honest. If my if my phone keeps confirming, it sounds like a lie detector test. That's true. That's true. So, the number three could be significant. But this is, I don't have the book right now with this. I would love to go into it. So, I don't know why I'm getting like an offering. This is, it's like offering up, it's offering up like a feast or like the fruit of your own, the fruit of your own it's not even of your labor. The But I guess you could say it is. I feel like it's a gratitude offering for the ability, either the ability to, it's like what you've created, you're giving back to the one that gave you the inspiration to create. That's what it is. Okay. I guess I should show what I mean. It's like if this was like a deity or something that a creator, a higher power, okay, that was protecting you, or a higher power that was within you that you tapped into, and you started creating, or you started like harvesting or receiving the fruit of what you do, right? As you now can feed yourself, or now you can take care of yourself. Um, from this, it's like, and then you see that they look like coconuts, right? So it's almost like what he created provided him the food of what he was created by, the food of what you were created by. That's how it came through. So I feel like you're connected to, this is the energy of like the protector of individuals that are, it could be individuals that have crossed over that you're connected to, but it could also be individuals in the physical reality that are not like here. They're in some kind of um reliving some past, or they're just never quite here because there's always something to do or some lament of something. So I feel like either you're a mediator between the soul and the the part of them that's here. I hope you don't hear that noise. Someone could be feeling like an outcast, um, but yet, even though they do feel like an outcast, they're This is like the fool, just kind of like in their own world, just being themselves, just doing connected to their higher self, being appreciative of um, their existence, their being, their just being where they are at this time, knowing that they're protected, that knowing that they have connection to um, other realms where they are connected to their ancestors, their lineage, or they're connected to their spirit guides or higher powers that are able to inspire new creations. And you offer those new creations to that which is all glory, right? Because it came from some well of wisdom beyond yours, or because it came from some inspired uh, concept from the universe. It doesn't matter. It's a it's a gratitude for the experience to be present, to have the experience, to be able to take the snapshot of the moment and know it's going to be part of your journey no matter what. So, like I said, it's like pouring back. I don't think I'm supposed to show that. Pouring back, giving back what has, uh, those are like your guardians. So it's like giving appreciation to your guardians, giving appreciation to the higher self, giving appreciation to spirit. It's a gratitude of spirit, and ultimately, um, it's like a stable feeling. Also, the Four of Water. Um, some can say in the traditional deck that it's stagnation or it's a lack of inspiration or needing to change because of being too comfortable. But in this, we have it's being very much in the element, being comfortable in your emotional self, kind of being set in your way emotionally. If you can't get moved emotionally anymore, and not in a bad way, because some people would be like, well, then you're not, no, you're not being moved outside of your choice to overdo this emotional thing that people do. I feel like you're very strong, very protected. This could be your divine masculine energy. This is a warrior. This is very Mars energy. And that's your protector. That's your divine counterpart. Um, they're working at this time very hard to create security. Okay. And I feel like they turned their back on the past because when I laid the card down, I was supposed to face it down with all of them. And it ended up going like facing the opposite direction of the rest. So something can be about going in the opposite direction of the rest at this time. We have death in reverse. So someone could have avoided a negative outcome. Maybe someone was like prone to getting themselves in challenging situations, transformative situations, and because they didn't follow the crowd, because they stayed committed to the work of their own security, they avoided uh, transforming. So there's a truth that's going to come through, a truth about God, and it's a message from fire. It has to do with Yemaya. This is a goddess of water. It has to do with um, very I can't even say it right. Venusian, very Venus, but she's a goddess of rivers. So it's just like a very sensual, but also very healing waters, um, very moon, very emotional, also very sensitive. A new beginning when it comes to love, and it's going to be very pure, very sweet, very caring, very nurturing, very light. And I feel like maybe that's what this truth about God is. That because somebody stayed true to to working on their security, and they were protected by Chango, they, instead of being staying stagnant emotionally, right? They they avoided a transformation, and a truth about God is coming through their transformation. And it's in regards to their emotional expression is going to have a new beginning, because somebody was willing to uh, move away from either some plan or some idea or some way of thinking, and now they're able to enjoy enjoy uh, they're emotionally satisfied. It's like they're being allowed to be, I guess you can say, to indulge in some way, to indulge emotionally, like um, creature comforts, creature comforts. It's like they're allowed to enjoy and create. It's almost like building a passion for for creating your own luck, or for manifesting like something that is tangible, like being able to see tangible results of your manifestation. Not everybody is free, okay? Some people get some people are being restricted and possibly challenged to defend themselves and protect themselves and fight, defend, and battle this dragon. because of the earth elements. In order to be balanced in the earth, you have to be able to defend against the fire. So someone's going through kind of like a nightmarish situation. They're being guided though by a spirit that's leading them out of the trenches. And this could be a magician. So be careful of illusion. Oh wow. So as soon as I saw it, I heard, seek ye first the kingdom of God and all his righteousness, and all shall be added on to you. I learned that when I was like 14. I received like my first little Bible, and that was a verse that I read, and it stuck with me. I pondered that for a long time. Someone can be very, I'm gonna probably stop this reading soon. The five of air. I feel like someone's either arguing or in conflict in some kind of way, confused when it comes to connecting. It could be somebody of the air element, a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. They might be very tired, very busy working, very busy. So they haven't had time to really consider uh, some kind of disappointment or some kind of betrayal or some kind of hmm, toxic idea when it comes to what it means to be caged. This person might think of being trapped mentally when it comes to balancing their money or something. They might get some kind of confirmation through the gnomes, maybe a dream or in meditation or something. So listen to the spirit when they come. I wouldn't, I feel like a lot of people, this is seven of air. You see, they're like waiting. It's like people that cannot really think for themselves are going to kind of be waiting to be fed. And we have the element of water. So this could be a Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. Maybe to be mindful of not letting things that are challenging disrupt you. Um, Shocking revelations about reality. Don't let it disrupt your emotional balance to the point that you lose out on the blessings perhaps that you know you can receive for not being naive about reality. It seems that is the message. Did I mention 707 earlier? I think I did, right? Alright. I think that's all, folks. Focus on maybe seeing if you can connect with your animal totem. see if perhaps the songs might resonate. Um, Mr. Sandman, yes, bring me a dream. Okay, I forgot the rest, but that's all, folks. Have a good night.